All right, guys. This is the next morning. As I promised you, I'm gonna do this the next day. I'm gonna show you how to install it, attach it to the gas meter. Um, Before I do that, first we're still going through construction from Ida. That was like 6 months ago. This guy's house was completely totaled. He redid the whole thing. He's still working on it. Anyways, I've been telling you about the shut-off valve for the gas. So there are two places from the gas tank that hoses go through. There's one here and one here. Now this one I put because this is the one that goes to the switch, which you turn on this way. That's the one that needs to be shut off. I'm not sure exactly what this one is, except this one goes down here to this thing, and from here it goes back to the what's it called, to the filter, air filter. So I don't think I have to do anything with that. I think what it's for is the gases from the gas tank, gasoline tank, will get sucked into the air filter and reused to burn better efficiently. I guess that's what it is. I don't think we have to put anything, any shut-off valve over there. All I did here, I cut, this was just one piece. I cut it with a pair of scissors right here in the front. So I put this one this way, one this way. This valve, I bought it from Ace Hardware for a lot of money. It's not worth $10, but hey, I just needed to do it. I did not use anything here or here to make it tight like this. It's very tight already. Make sure you put it in the right way. There is a marking on it that says flow. I don't know if you can see it. It just says flow. So it has to go, the arrow is this way. So it has to go from here right there, going this way. Right now it's off position. This is the on position, so we're gonna leave it in off position. That's one thing. Another thing is I kind of regret putting the regulator on this side. I wish I would have put it maybe in the back. The reason is going through the doors and stuff like that, this is just a piece of chunky metal that's gonna hit everything. Yeah, you don't want to put it in the back here, in the front actually, where the exhaust is. There is no space here, nor would I recommend to put it here. But here, right there, where the air filter is, I would recommend next, if I want to do it again, I would recommend just to put it up here, right here, away from this. Yes, you're gonna have a little bit hard time getting to this, but it's gonna come down all the way here, so it's gonna cover this. It's gonna come down all the way here. You still can move this if you needed to. Okay, but yeah, I would put it right here, except the only problem is, number one, it's not flat, so you got to be careful how you drill through it. Number two, the gas tank is closer to this. It's gonna be really hard to put a screw in. You may have to go the screw at an angle like this inside, so that you could actually put the nut down here instead of going straight. But you can figure it out. Anyways, if you haven't done what I've done, put it here. That's the best place. I would put it right here. Okay, now this is my hose. I got this 15 feet, 3/4 inch. Very important, 3/4 inch. I got this from Amazon. That's the best price I could find. I look around a lot, and it's really hard to find 3/4 inch gas pipe. This is called, if you go there, I think you can put 3/4 quick disconnect natural gas, and that's what's gonna come up. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna put this all together. One side of it is gonna go in here, the other side is gonna go on the meter. All right, I think it costs $160, but it's made for natural gas. If you go 1/2 inch, you may have not enough pressure for your generator to run off of it, and so you will not have much of performance. Anyways, now let's go to the gas meter. All right, this is my gas meter. I'm here in a suburb of Louisiana. In Louisiana, things are a little bit different than in California, where I was before. And so I want to tell you something. So first of all, on this side, you have about 40 to 60 pounds coming up. This is the regulator for the whole house. It turns it from the whatever poundage it is, 40 or 60. It turns it into approximately less than 1 pound. So which means it's gonna be about 7 to 9 water column. 12 water column is 1 pound. So usually it's good by 7 or 8. That's where they leave it at. Do not mess around with the regulator. If you smell any gas, just call the gas company. Let them come take a look at it. So this is the unmetered side. If you put anything on this, if you put anything down here, you're gonna have overpressure. You're gonna blow your generator reg. You do not want to do that. If you put anything on this side, you're stealing gas because it's not metered. Trust me, they're gonna get you. I work for the gas company. There are ways to find out how you're stealing gas, so they're gonna come after you. Do not do that. You're gonna get thousands of dollars of fine. Plus, they're gonna shut off your gas. Probably gonna cut it off from the street. And to turn it back on after you pay all the fines, you have to pay a few more $1,000s to restore it again. So do not mess around with the company, with the gas company. They're trying to help you out. All right, here. This is the side. It goes through the meter. It gets metered. They know how much you're using, and you're gonna go up here. And this is the side you want to put it on. Now, some states have something right here. Just like this with this thing on top. Some of them have a T, like this side is a T and it has a plug like this on it. All right, depending what system they're using, what state you are in, this or the T on this side is for changing your meter. It's a bypass to change your meter. So do not absolutely put anything on the T here or do anything right down here. Anything you want to do, you have to do past this one. When you see something like this or a T that maybe actually on this side somewhere, if it doesn't have anything here, you have to go past that one. Okay, you cannot use that one at all. So let's say if you had it up here instead, some of them do, then you have to go down below it and get it from here. In my case, it's right above the gas meter. So what I did is, unfortunately, mine is a little bit more complicated. It comes here, it breaks into something else, goes one up to the attic, and the other one goes down underground, which is not a good thing. You don't want to have gas pipe going under the ground. So I may have to do that later, just disconnect it and then run everything from the attic. Anyways, never mind. What I had before was, it was coming here originally, then this was also an L, just like this one, without that thing, just a regular L, just like this one. It was an L going down, another L going here, going up and down to ground or to the attic. So I took obviously I shut off the gas right here. Very careful, you do not mess around with this. I gotta tell you this, I wanna make sure. Okay, first of all, I was certified for gas because I work for the gas company. I can't do this. If you cannot, you do not do what you're doing. Do not do this. Never ever touch this nut. You do that, it's gonna blow. This is gonna shoot out really fast, and you're gonna have blowing gas, and that's gonna cost you a few $1,000s plus. God forbid you get injured or you have fire. When it's showing upwards this way with the line, that means it's open. If you turn it this way, it's closed horizontally. If you go up again, it doesn't matter that this goes all the way up, it's still open. If you turn it again and go this way 270 degrees, then it's closed. If you turn it back again this way, it's open again. This thing you can turn 360 degrees and on and on and on, and it will turn. It's not like a screw kind of thing. So vertical like this, lining up with the gas pipe, that means it's open. Horizontal like this, that means it's closed. So whether I'm going to turn it off this way or this way, it doesn't matter, it turns off. So I turned that off. I had to open this right here. All right, the spot right here. There is a washer down there. The washer usually needs to be changed. Mine was in good condition. If it's not good when you take it out, it's flat or it's already cut, then you're probably going to have a gas leak later. You need to replace that one. Once I did that, I removed that. I remove this. Remember, this was an L, just like that. You had an L here, this wasn't there. So I removed this nipple, the pipe is called a nipple. I removed this nipple out, turned it out, took it out. I removed this T. This was an L. I removed the L, put this T in so I can go up as well. Put that back in again, put it together, back together again. I didn't turn it on yet. Here, as you can see, I put a closed nipple. That means a very, very small pipe. And I use a straight L, or you could use an L and another nipple, but this is just one part instead of two parts. And then I use the valve, and you can tell I plugged it up. Now, I have 3/4 here, and I really like the fact that it's 3/4, so it's a lot of pressure. I'm sorry, I take it back. That's not 3/4. That's 1 inch. This is 3/4. 3/4 is normal for a regular house, and that's why you have a small meter like this. This is 1 inch. So I go 1 inch. I continued 1 inch all the way here. This is 1 inch. I have the plug, and I have what's it called? A reducer. It's not called a reducer. It's something else. I'm gonna come up with it later. So I put this in. It turned it down from 1 inch right here at the valve to 3/4 right here. So now I have, when I remove this, I can remove it from here going to 1 inch if I wanted to, or remove it from here going to 3/4. Now, my pipe, I showed you that pipe over there that I'm gonna use is 3/4. So I'm gonna actually use this one right here. Take this one out, leave this in, because I do need to have it this way. The reason I went 1 inch, in case later I want to put another T here and go from here, get like something else. Let's say I want to get a barbecue away from the gas meter, obviously, or I want to put a bigger generator, like maybe a whole house generator by Generac. They probably require 1 inch. I'm not sure. Anyways, you could always reduce it, but you cannot increase it. If you increase it, you still have restriction here. So this is all 1 inch. It comes in 1 inch. It goes there 1 inch, right? It still goes 1 inch here. Then right here, you see it becomes, this is a reducing L, 1 inch to 3/4. It goes 3/4 up to the attic, down to the ground. So the house gets 2 3/4. The reason they did it that way, 2 3/4 should be fine. Now, if I want to remove this one on the bottom, probably I have to make all of this 1 inch and going up. But that's not your problem. So just want to explain why I did what I did. Hint. Do you see this valve? I don't know if you can. Here you go. Do you see you have this seam right here? These valves are not good. Do not use them. If you can find one that doesn't have this, get that one. Reason for that is we had a lot of problem when I was working at the company. Sometimes you're trying to loosen this, it actually turns from here, and then you cannot turn it back again. That doesn't seal anymore. It's a factory fitting, is not gonna seal. You have to change the whole valve. And the whole reason you put this valve in is you can do whatever you want to do here without shutting off the main valve down here. So if you have to remove this valve now you have to go ahead and shut off the whole house, because once you remove this, gas is going to shoot out. So get a better one. I didn't find anything. It was hard to find it. It was during IDA, obviously, when I put it in. And yeah, don't do this. The one that comes from this company, we got Century Fuel products that we got all of this from. That one doesn't have anything. Is one piece, as you can tell. This is a good one. It has nothing to do with the color, by the way. It's not like whether it's red or yellow or blue. They all have those kind of colors for some reason. But just make sure there is no seam in between. This is just one whole piece. This is a good one. Okay? Alrighty. Now next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the plug while the gas is off. This is off. This is on. Okay, it's nothing gonna come out because it's plugged. So we're gonna remove this one right here. I'm gonna leave this in. Then I'm gonna attach the quick disconnect. On this side, I'm gonna attach the hose. I was looking for another quick disconnect to attach here, but unfortunately those things run for like I think $54 at Amazon right now because it's 3/4. If it was a half inch or something, it would be so much cheaper. I may still do that, but not right now. I just want to do it this way. So I'm gonna put this together. Again, what we have here is on this side we have 3/4. I'm gonna put some dope, which is that sealant, the pipe thread sealant. Put it on here. This thing does turn like this, even though it's sealed in here. So I can actually use a crescent wrench. So this side is turning from, let's see, from right here, but it's sealed inside, so it will not leak. So I put the thread sealant on here, use the crescent wrench, and put it at the valve right here. So pretty much this way it's gonna be always attached. So now you have this chunky thing hanging on the side, and you have the pipe hanging on it too. So then I'm gonna put the pipe on top of it, I guess. And then on this side you're gonna have the quick disconnect. All right, I already put, this is the generator side. I already put this 3/4 nipple with sealant on it inside this 3/4 gas valve, and I'm turning it. You need to back it up on this side or this side as well, just so this doesn't move. But you're not going to tighten it too much because this is brass on brass. Brass is actually good, it seals really well. But yeah, always back it up with another wrench. So this is the 12 is crescent wrench. Use that. Do not use the pipe wrench, because the pipe wrench is gonna put marking on this. Okay, on the gas side, I removed the 3/4 inch plug. I'm still gonna leave the reducer here because the reducer is using, what it does is it takes the 1 inch into 3/4. So I have 3/4 here. This is the other side of the quick disconnect. That's gonna go in here later because that side is already in, and the valve needs to be shut off. Right now it doesn't matter, but you need to shut it off for later. So this side is gonna go inside. I want to show it later. So I had to buy a nipple right here. This didn't come with it, so I had to buy a 3/4 inch nipple, closed nipple, meaning the shortest one. I already put sealant on it, and I'm gonna put sealant on this side as well, because that's how I'm gonna connect the quick disconnect to this side of the pipe. So it's gonna go in here, but I'm gonna put some sealant on this side as well. Then I'm gonna tighten this. Guys, I want to say I know this video is very long, but I used to watch videos on people doing stuff and they just would jump the steps and I would be like confused. So that's why I'm doing this so slowly. I show you everything. Anyways, I put this in. I just saw, you know what, I didn't have to get brass closed nipple here. I could have gotten just an iron, because it's not brass to brass, it's brass to brass to iron and to brass. So I could have just made it iron, doesn't matter. Also, when you do this, obviously I used another crescent wrench, the same crescent wrench for this and this side. You want to back this side up, so you probably want to put a pipe wrench on this one, not on this. This is brass, but on this one, this is iron, just so that none of this turns. Because remember that place right here that I showed you, that you got to be very careful with. If that moves, it's game over. It's gonna just make it leak and stuff. So you want to make sure this doesn't move. You don't have to, tighten the heck out of it. It's we have a lot of sealant. This is brass. It seals also, and also it's kind of low pressure. We still have to go afterwards, after we connect everything, to soap check it to make sure it's not leaking. I just want to show you another thing. See how it's right over this, and remember I told you they're using this to change the meter. That's a bypass. So that's why when I connected this originally, I actually connected at an angle. I don't know if you can see it from here. So this one up here is actually like this, and that one is like that, so that we do not cover this up. We do not want to cover it. I could have moved it this way towards the wall, but then I guess I didn't want to do that because I didn't want the pipe to touch the wall, and then the vibration of the generator would just rub it against the wall like a sandpaper. And as you can see, outside is rubber, inside I'm thinking it's a corrugated metal, like CSST kind of type. But you know, once you have the outside scratched up, the inside is kind of open to rain and rust and leakage. So this is the reason why I'm doing that. So next we're gonna go ahead and actually connect this to this. But before we do this, I want to show you when I took the plug off, if I did this, it would have just gushed out, the gas would have just gushed out. You would hear it and smell it. It's not a good thing because we do have the electric meter here, which is source of ignition. So some states they wouldn't allow you to be that close anyways, but this has been grandfathered in. But with a quick disconnect, this could be on and it kind of holds it. There's nothing come out of it. And the only time something is gonna come out of it is when you put something in and it's put in. You can see, I don't know if you can see it inside. There is like a washer kind of thing inside. I hope you can see that. That's gonna seal the whole thing. So basically, I'm gonna move this back like this. I'm gonna put this in. Here you go. I did it. Right now it's actually gas. Have access here, but understand we have gas all the way to here. The rest of it is all air because there was no gas in the pipe. So the pipe is already connected. The gas and the air right before it, it stopped all the way here. I wonder what happens if I open this. Nothing. It probably put some pressure on here, but it locks it because there's nothing going on right now, so it doesn't allow any gas to come through, which is a good thing because we do not want it to fuel the carburetor with gas because it has pressure while there is no demand. Apparently it doesn't do that. I'm a little bit kind of iffy about that, so I rather have this closed anytime I'm not using the generator. I'm just going to close this one and the other one at the meter just to be on the safe side. Just in case, you know, if we would have had the other Firman generator which has gasoline on this side and LP, liquid propane, and natural gas on that side, every time you leave it to off, it would shut it off. There is something here for the propane. You can see it actually. This is the regulator for the propane. You see this? That's a shut-off relay. Once you put it on propane, this actually opens up this valve, and the propane actually goes inside it. And so when you turn it off, like it is right now, it will shut that valve off, making sure there's nothing coming through. So, you know, this is going to be valve open. It's going to be valve closed. That's going to be valve open to the gas. And this is, by the way, the place we're going to move it to because we want to turn it on this place. That's why we had to shut off the gas pipe to it, because it will try to get gasoline as well. So we shut it off, but we're going to use natural gas instead. Okay, final checkup before we turn this thing on. I just put the negative side back on the battery because I left it open before. I didn't want it to go out of the charge. It may have gone out of the charge. If so, then we have to do it manually because the starter is not going to work. But anyways, I just put it on. I changed the oil last night. The oil is good. So if the oil is low, it will not turn on and you're going to be scratching your head. What did I do? Why is it not working? There you go. All right. Let's see. All right, this is hard to put it in. There you go. All right. This is off position, very important. Here we have the choke. It didn't say anything about leaving the choke on. I think we're gonna leave it off, just the way usually should be, so that valve inside that we saw when we open the whole filter thing, it was open. It's still open. All right. This side, we have the valve closed as well. The other side we have the valve open. So there is gas right there. There's a lot of air right here. We have to purge this, and everything else seems to be fine. There is nothing else. The valve for the gasoline is off as well. That's very important. You don't want this to be on. If you use gasoline, you have to make sure this is off and it's not connected. But even if it's not connected, it has to be off. So be very careful about this. Alrighty, I think we are ready to go. Remember, we have to purge a lot of gas out of here. I probably should have left this open, purge the air out, so that the gas would be here. But there is a thing on the back of the regulator we're gonna push to do the same thing. Okay, let's read this. Here on page 18, it says on the owner's manual, turn off that valve to gasoline, turn on the valve, the ball valve to the regulator, the one that we installed, and now we have to do the prime. Okay, on page 19 it says this: press primer button, which is in the back, only for a second, so fuel goes into the carburetor. Fuel is natural gas. However, understand we cannot do that just for a second. Reason for that is we have a lot of air. We're gonna purge this, so I'm gonna open this, and then I'm gonna push that button on the back right here, but more than a second. Let's see if you can hear something. Do you hear that? I'm gonna do that until I smell some gas. Okay, I smell gas. Now, understand at the beginning there is gas and air mixed in there until the whole thing purges and becomes gas. Right now I'm gonna wait a few minutes because I want the gas to evaporate. Now, natural gas, unlike propane, it actually evaporates and goes up. Oh, I smell a lot of it here. All right, right now it's shut off. To be on the safe side, it's not flowing, but to be on the safe side, I'm gonna shut this one off too. So we should have gas all the way to here and maybe even the carburetor. But I'm gonna wait a few minutes for the excess gas to just evaporate, go up, and I smell a lot of gas. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start this thing. I don't want to start it with gas around. Now, natural gas, people think is very dangerous. It's gonna blow up. Well, I was around a lot. I was sent for leak checks and stuff like that, so I don't have as much problem with that as other people do. I don't fear it. There is a certain mixture of gas and air that's going to allow it to be combustible. So between how much was it? 0.5% to, I believe it was 7% or 14%. Yeah, 14% of gas ratio to air. If it's anything lower than that, it doesn't have enough gas to burn. If it's anything higher than that, it's so full of gas that there is, not enough oxygen to ignite. So that doesn't mean anything to you probably. I'm just letting you know I'm not scared of this thing. I had seen a lot of things. I encountered a lot of explosions as well. I kind of know what I'm doing, but hey, you guys, don't do what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything dangerous right now. I'm just going to wait a few minutes until it evaporates completely. Then I'm going to get back to it and start it. All right, we just wait a few minutes now. Okay, let's read this. It says to adjust the power valve, loosen the nut and then turn the screw inward half a turn at a time. Prime the regulator and try starting it 4 to 5 pulls. We're not going to pull because we have a starter. Hopefully the battery is good. If it does not start, continue turning turning it up to the full 2 full turns. The reason it probably would not start is people, depending on how long your pipe is, the hose is, you have a lot of air, and then it just goes. If it still won't start, follow the same procedure, turning the screw out. Once it starts, back the power valve screw until the engine starts to die. So we're probably not going to do any of this except this last thing, just because we already filled it up with gas or natural gas. So once it starts, back out the power valve screw until the engine starts to die. Then screw it inward until it smooths out and tighten the nut to lock in place. So which means at this time we're gonna once it starts, we're gonna try to adjust it by first making it lean. That means little gas, so that the engine seems to be dying, and then we enrich it until it goes smoothly. If it has little gas, it's gonna go out. If it has too much gas, it's not gonna run perfect. So we're just gonna adjust the screw to the desired place, and then we're gonna lock it in. That's what is going on here. So I will loosen the screw. However, I will just start it without doing anything, maybe half a turn, the one at the beginning, and then we go from there. It should turn on theoretically. So if it doesn't, I already know what to do. Number one, we have water over there. I can use the water to get rid of the fire. Number two, or maybe I should do this faster. First, this is gonna go first. I'm gonna turn this off, and then I'm gonna use the water right there with the water hose to get the fire down, but it shouldn't happen. So I'm gonna go ahead as soon as I know there is no more leakage, I cannot smell any more gas, I'm gonna go ahead and then do these things. Now, however, one more thing we can do right now is it's a good time to open this valve, and the other valve needs to be open as well, and just soap check. So you use a little bit of water and very little dish soap, and a brush, like a paintbrush, and then just go all over this connection that you made to make sure there is no leakage. If you see any bubbles, obviously you're gonna stop, open the whole thing again, and put sealant and tighten. If you have a faulty fitting, like a nipple or whatever it is, you need to have to change it probably. Okay, I used paintbrush, some water, and I put only 4 drops of dish soap, and that's enough. You just go like this, and then you just go ahead and do this all around. I already did it, and then if you want to do on this side, obviously you have the valve open on both sides, right? Otherwise you won't have anything to pressurize. I did up here too. I don't see any bubbles. You usually take a mirror or something, go under to see if there's anything there. I tried the other side as well, nothing there. So we're good to go, no leaks. So we're gonna start the whole thing. All right, I'm ready to do it. I left this valve off just for one start, just in case there's still too much, too much gas in the carburetor. I'm gonna do one start push just in case, and then I'm gonna turn it back on. That's what we're gonna do. Isn't it interesting that it actually ran with the valve off? All right, let's check again. Valve is off and it's running. That means there is too much gas in the carburetor.